That bloke was supposed to be up first.
We're already seeing the effects of the government cuts in Norfolk. The County Council has cut back the connection service which helps young people into work, and it's making cuts in crucial fire services as well. Both of these were strongly opposed by Green Party councillors at County Hall. But the devastating effects of the government's cuts are set to get much worse in the big conversation the County Council is carrying out at the moment.
Big con!
It's proposing to reduce the transport funding in Norfolk, including for those people studying in further education. It's proposing to cut school support staff. It's proposing huge cuts to social services, reducing the number of people who have access to the care services that they need. These are just a few examples of how the cuts will affect everybody. And we've got a clear message today that the government's not getting its priorities right and the County Council is not getting its priorities right. The previous government went further than any government before in privatising our public services, increasing the profits of private companies through private finance initiatives and introducing corporate influence over our schools through the academy school system. And this new government is going even further than Labour and using the deficit as an excuse to privatise our public services in the name of the big society. Well, we've got a clear message today that this is not our idea of the big society. The big society is one which does not undermine the principles of the welfare state in the way that this government is doing. After our local MP Simon Wright was having real difficulty deciding whether or not to stick to his pledge, he did manage to come to a decision a few hours before a meeting that the students held the other night, and they put pressure on him to stick to his promise. But it's not good enough just for those Lib Dem MPs who happen to represent university constituencies to vote against the fee rises. We need all the Lib Dem MPs to stick to the promise they made before the election, which helped get them elected and which will hopefully keep a fair system for funding higher education. This government's proposing huge cuts to funding of higher education, and we need a clear message that that's not acceptable. The cause of this crisis was the unregulated capitalist system over which Gordon Brown presided. He was proud to not have a regulated banking system, to let the banks and the markets run wild and cause the credit crunch. And we need to be tackling that. We need to be taxing the risky transactions between the banks, bringing in a Robin Hood tax that could raise money to fund our public services. We need to be clamping down on corporate tax evasion and avoidance. We should be cancelling the Trident nuclear weapons system. We should be bringing our troops home from Iraq and Afghanistan. Using that money to fund public services for the future, not to engage in illegal wars abroad. These deep cuts will risk a double-dip recession. They'll put more people out of work, more people needing to claim unemployment benefits, unable to contribute to the tax system that's needed to fund our public service.